Welcome to our new series, Quotations to Inspire and Uplift, Part 6. Here are some of the most beautiful and beloved quotes from Sri Aurobindo and the Mother that have sustained and inspired me all my life. It is my prayer that they will enter your heart and soul, bringing peace, calm, joy, and a deep sense of gratitude. The quotations are not arranged in any specific order, simply as I remember them and copy them from my files. For more information on specific topics, one can refer to our website, motherandsriaurobindo.in, or our YouTube site, Richard Eggenberger, where our series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis, takes up individual topics in greater depth. Many have already been uploaded, and many more will be uploaded in the coming months. From the Mother. There is a domain far above the mind, which we could call the world of harmony. And if you can reach there, you will find the root of all the harmony that has been manifested in whatever form upon earth. If by yoga you are capable of reaching this source of all art, then you are master, if you will, of all the arts. Those that may have gone there before found it perhaps happier, more pleasant, or full of a rapturous ease to remain and enjoy the beauty and the delight that are there, not manifesting it, not embodying it upon earth. But this abstention is not all the truth, nor the true truth of yoga. It is rather a deformation, a diminution of the dynamic freedom of yoga by the more negative spirit of sannyasa. The will of the divine is to manifest, not to remain altogether withdrawn in inactivity and an absolute silence. If the divine consciousness were really an inaction of unmanifesting bliss, there would never have been any creation. And then this question is asked of the Mother. There is a common idea that visions are a sign of high spirituality. Is this true? Mother says, not necessarily. Moreover, to see is one thing, but to understand and interpret what is seen is quite another, and much more difficult. Generally, those who see are misled because they give the meaning or interpretation they wish to give according to their desires, hopes, and prepossessions. And then, too, there are many different planes in which you can see. There is a mental seeing, a vital seeing, and there are some visions that are seen in a plane very close to the material. The visions that belong to the last category appear in forms and symbols that seem to be absolutely material, so clear and real and tangible they are. And if you know how to interpret them, you can have very exact indications of circumstances and of the inner condition of people. Let us illustrate. Here is a vision that someone actually had. A road climbs up a steep and precipitous hillside, bathed in full, bright sunlight. On the road, a heavy coach drawn by 6 strong horses is proceeding with great difficulty. It is advancing slowly but steadily. Arrives a man who looks over the situation, takes his position behind the coach, and begins to push it, or tries to push it up the hill. Then someone comes who has knowledge and says to him, "Why do you labor in vain? Do you think your effort can have any effect? For you, it is an impossible task. Even the horses find it difficult." Now, the clue to the meaning of the vision lies in the image of the 6 horses. Horses are symbols of power, and the number 6 represents divine creation. So the 6 horses signify the powers of divine creation. The coach stands for realization, for the thing that has to be realized, achieved, brought up to the summit, to the height where dwells the light. Although these powers of creation are divine, it is a hard labor even for them to consummate the realization. For they have to work against heavy odds, against the whole downward pull of nature. Then comes in the human being in his arrogance and ignorance, with his small fund of mental powers, and thinks that he is somebody and can do something. The best thing he can do is to step inside the coach, sit down comfortably, and let the horses carry him. Be conscious. Be conscious of the night as well as of the day. First, you have to get consciousness. Afterwards, control. You who remember your dreams may have had this experience that even while dreaming, you knew it was a dream. You knew that it was an experience that did not belong to the material world. When once you know, you can act there in the same way as in the material world. Even in the dreaming, you can exercise your conscious will and change the whole course of your dream experience. As you become more and more conscious, you will begin to have the same control over your being at night as you have in the day, perhaps even more. For at night you are free, at least partially, from slavery to the mechanism of the body. The control over the processes of body consciousness is more difficult, since they are more rigid, less amenable to change than are the mental or vital processes. In the night, the mental and vital, especially the vital, are very active. During the day, they are under check. The physical consciousness automatically represses their free play and expression. In sleep, this check is removed, and they come out with their natural and free movements. And the last question: what is the nature of dreamless sleep? mother. Generally, when you have what you call dreamless sleep, it is one of two things. Either you do not remember what you dreamt, or you fell into absolute unconsciousness, which is almost death, a taste of death. But there is the possibility of a sleep in which you enter into absolute silence, immobility, and peace in all parts of your being, and your consciousness merges into Satchidananda. You can hardly call it sleep, for it is extremely conscious. In that condition, you may remain for a few minutes, but these few minutes give you more rest and refreshment than hours of ordinary sleep. You cannot have it by chance. It requires a long training.